Sings love notes reminding me she wears red when she's feeling hot. I have her, but it's all I got.
The Maine are currently on their first headlining tour in support of their major label debut, Black and White, which was produced by Howard Benson, who's worked with Creed and Daughtry. It's the follow-up to their 2008 release, Can't Stop, Won't Stop. The Maine has been writing and recording and touring nonstop since they were barely out of high school together in Phoenix, Arizona, and their songs have garnered over 77 million plays on MySpace alone. They've sold close to 800,000 digital singles and racked up 2 million views on YouTube, with Rolling Stone naming the band one of Bamboozle's 5 breakout bands to watch, and Alternative Press recently bestowing the band the new face of American pop music. It seems fans are flocking to the band's sold-out headlining tour to see what the fuss is all about. Artisan News recently caught up with Kennedy Brock and Jared Monaco of the Maine on their recent headlining tour to get their thoughts on how social networking websites like MySpace, Facebook, and YouTube have helped the band generate fans even when they couldn't tour because they have to finish high school.
You know, these days I feel like it's a totally different ball game, you know, especially when you're trying to start your band. For us, we were lucky enough that there were social networking sites like MySpace available for us to use, and we took full advantage of that. We couldn't tour because Pat and Garrett were still finishing high school, and the only way for us to get the word out was, you know, via the internet.
Yeah,
and,
it really just allowed us to reach out and interact with people that we weren't able to in person, you know.
And even to this day, I mean, that's you know,
it's still
what we try to focus on is connecting with those fans, even though you know, sometimes it gets a little out of hand. But it's a great tool having the internet on your side these days.
The Maine also talked about how the band took a step up in the songwriting and recording process.
A lot of planning went into this one. We had a lot more time to write and prepare and, you know, make alterations to all the demos that we had. We pretty much started writing as soon as we got out of the studio for, you know, for the first album.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of material. I think we showed up to pre-production with about 50 songs. Just demos, and so
narrowed it down really fast, and then we ended up writing more in the studio. And
we really wanted to go with a little bit more of a rock sound with this record. Originally, that wasn't really the idea. We didn't really have any sort of goal in mind. That's just kind of what it shaped up to be, and we're really excited.
As we got closer and closer to the recording, I think like we kind of began to more realize the sound we wanted to have, and that we were already beginning to have with the songs we'd written for this album. So I think it's just a step forward for us.
After performing a high-profile show in Indonesia, the Maine will next be embarking on their first headlining tour of the UK, with dates kicking off September 30th and extending until October 11th. They then head back to the U.S. for the next leg of their headlining tour in support of Black and White, with dates beginning October 20th in Portland, Oregon, and finishing up November 27th in Chicago. It was also recently announced that the Maine will be touring Australia for their first time in February and March 2011 as part of the Soundwave Festival, playing alongside well-known bands such as Iron Maiden, Slash, Mayday Parade, and Never Shout Never.